At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes and 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute. Stations, this is your final time check. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 30 seconds.
is Bleck and Abdalla on Westwood One Sports. Here's Chris Bleck and Adam Abdalla.
Welcome in to Bleck and Abdalla here on Westwood One Sports, the Westwood One Sports app, Sirius XM Channel 375, and all of our great radio affiliates around the country. I'm Chris Bleck along with Adam Abdalla, broadcasting live from downtown Chicago. We're on the air until 3 Eastern, hanging out with you for the next 3 hours right here on Westwood One Sports. If you want to join us, you can call or text the show at any time at 310-840-4910. We kick things off on a Monday, Abdalla, with some breaking news in the NBA. Dusty May, the NCAA champion from this past season in college basketball at Michigan, is taking the head coaching job at Dallas. The Dallas Mavericks have a new head coach. It's Dusty May. And Dusty May, when we were at the Final Four broadcasting, there was chatter about Dusty May perhaps through back channels being interested in the North Carolina job. And that was the big job in college basketball that was open in this coaching cycle for college basketball. He stayed at Michigan for the time being, but we also talked about here on the show that there are some NBA jobs that are out there. And I wonder if Dusty May is going to stay in college. And today, he makes the jump from college to the NBA. I believe it's been, I heard Josh Graham say it, 40 years since the last time a college coach won a title and then left college basketball, heading to the NBA. So Dusty May will be the new head coach with the Dallas Mavericks.
Yeah, and just like we started last Monday, where I correctly predicted that the New York Knicks would win the NBA title, over a month ago, I would like to give you the same credit, and I would like to sit back and relax and give you the floor for correctly predicting that a college coach would take the easy way out, that a college coach would take the cushy job of an NBA job and leave the recruiting trail and leave after winning a championship and leave the NIL era and leave everything that goes along with running a program at a major university where you have to recruit, but then also recruit your own your own college kids every single year and keep them happy to return and keep them. And after you have them committed, essentially, so they don't flip. I mean, you see news. If you follow your school consistently, you basically will see commits flip before the season starts. So these college coaches, you can't just put your feet up and say, oh, I've got this guy committed. No, you have to monitor that another coach isn't coming in and trying to poach your guys. So you have said it. You've constantly said that the NBA, and I've said I disagree, that there are certain college jobs, and like Dusty May I think he should have stayed and try to win another title at Michigan, and another title at Michigan, and another title at Michigan. But you were right that the NBA, the lights of the NBA, the allure of the NBA is greater than staying in college because I think it's a tougher gig than because of the recruiting. I know the competition in the NBA is tougher. I get that. But the day-to-day grind of college is tougher because as soon as you're done with the season, I mean, really, as soon as you're done with the regular season, you have to start recruiting even while you're in the tournament. So you were right about a college coach eventually leaving one of these big programs and going to the NBA for not even really like one of these storied, look, the Mavs, I'm not saying the Mavs are a bad job. Like Cooper Flagg's a good player. He's a great player. Like you get the opportunity to coach one of the young, best up-and-coming stars in the league. But it's not, you're not leaving for the Knicks or the Lakers or the Bulls or something like that, right? You're leaving for the Mavs. Let's be honest.
It's nice of you to put the Bulls in that category.
Well, they're the Chicago Bulls. I mean, let's be honest.
They haven't won anything in years.
I understand
the Mavs
that,
have won in a shorter amount of time than the Bulls have.
I understand, but if you win with the Bulls, it's still the Chicago Bulls.
All right, yes. To me, it's very obvious. Coaches are going to take the NBA gig because it's a better gig. It is. And we can have these debates And when we are at the Final Four, we're around a bunch of college hoops heads. And when we're around people who are covering the sport of college, college is great. They want to stay in college. Yeah, that ain't the case, man. When you're an NBA head coach and you're making what NBA head coaches make, and you don't have to deal with the headaches of dealing with 17, 18, 19-year-old kids changing their mind every other week because they don't know if they want to play there, they want to stay, they want to do this. Oh, I got benched. Okay, well, I'm going to jump in the portal. I'm going to jump in the portal because I was promised this in NIL here. Okay, well, I'm going to show up. Wait, there's someone else ahead of me on the depth chart? I can't have that. I'm special. My parents tell me I'm special. I'm the most special kid that there is because every kid is so special in AAU culture, right? Mm-hmm. It is so obvious to why someone like Dusty May will make the jump to the NBA to coach in the NBA. You think Brad Stevens has looked back once and said, yeah, I should have stayed in college? No, he coached in the NBA and he said, you know what? I don't even want to deal with coaching. I'll just run the organization. And that's what he is. He's running the Boston Celtics. And we'll get to the Celtics as well as the show goes on because there are big trade rumors in the NBA around the Celtics and the Bucks and the Miami Heat. So we've got you covered there. But I think when we look at Dusty May specifically, the rise that he's had in college basketball as a coach takes FAU to the tourney twice, including one trip to the Final Four in 2023. He wins the national championship last year with Michigan. He's a hell of a coach. Everyone talks about him in college basketball as one of the best. And it seemed like he was locked in at Michigan until a better job comes along. And that better job is not just a college job. Because we had the debate on the show. Is North Carolina the bluest of blue blood, right? Mm-hmm. That sweet Carolina blue. Is that the bluest blue blood that you could find? And we had the debate. Like there's four. There's four big schools in college basketball. It's North Carolina, Duke, Kentucky, and Kansas. Those are the four. And I get it. If you're a fan of a fan base that's elsewhere, Arizona, Michigan, all the different spots popping up around the country, we get it. Florida could have a hand raised like, hey, what about us? We've won some national titles, right? Like, I get it. But, those are the four in college basketball. If Dusty May wasn't going to jump to one of those, North Carolina, he was waiting on the NBA. And that's where the Mavericks and their situation, they were looking to one of two places for their next head coach. The other reports today is that they were after John Shire.
Yeah.
And that was the conversation we were having here on the show as well. Shire will stay at Duke. I'm guessing for right now, he's not going to take the Portland Trailblazers job because that's the only job open in the NBA. I would guess in the next couple of years, Shire will end up in the NBA as well.
He's got to win one first, I think.
He'll end up in the NBA as well. But right now, Dusty May making the jump, and I'm not surprised that college coaches are envious of the lifestyle of an NBA head coach. Sure, there's a lot of pressure. You got to win. You got to deal with high-priced athletes who essentially you're the fall guy for the faults of the multi-million-dollar stars in the NBA. It is so much easier to fire the head coach than it is to trade half the team. Mm-hmm. So it's what you are. You're a sacrificial lamb, but the lifestyle of the NBA is far better than the lifestyle of being a college coach. So I'm not surprised, and it's a good move for Dusty May. I think the Mavericks are a fun, young, up-and-coming team. We'll see what they do in the draft tomorrow night. But Dusty May will be the head coach with the Dallas Mavericks.
Well, and look, Dusty May's he's really got nothing to lose in this situation. He can go to the NBA for however long he lasts. If he wins with the Mavs, good for him, great. If he doesn't, he can have his pick of any college job he wants when he decides to go back or if the NBA forces him back. If this doesn't work with Dallas and he makes it through one contract or two contracts, however long it is, he can have his pick of college basketball jobs when he goes back. You don't think that anybody in college basketball would be willing to move on from their head coach to get a chance at Dusty May when he's available outside of this, when the Mavs decide to move on? Because let's be honest, what are the odds that Dusty May wins a championship in the NBA?
Welcome to Dallas. Abdalla's already ended your career with the Mavs.
I mean, what are the odds?
10 minutes in.
Yeah. I mean, come on.
Why can't Dusty May be successful?
I just don't think he will be.
So why is he the head coach of the Mavs?
Because they needed to hire someone, and they went and got the best option that he could.
Shouldn't your opinion right now, in the moment, be that this was a bad hire for the Mavs? If you're already saying he's not going to be there?
No, I think this is a great hire for the Mavs, but I think this is a great hire for the Mavs.
What? I don't understand.
This is a great hire for the Mavs.
It's a great hire for the Mavs, except he's going to get fired.
Every coach in the NBA is hired to get fired. Like, most coaches in the NBA are hired to get fired.
Yeah, but that shouldn't be the worry right now.
That's every sport. All coaches get fired eventually. Like, that's how sports work.
Yeah, but like, why is that your worry right now?
It's not my worry. My point is that this is a fine move for Dusty May to make. This isn't just some other guy, the random guy in college. This is one of the best coaches in college basketball. He can have his pick of college basketball jobs when he comes back. He was up for the North Carolina job if he wanted it. Like you just said, it's the bluest of blue jobs if he wants it. He can go back to Michigan if he wants to. Like, there's any job he could take if he wants to. He could leave. If North Carolina becomes available again, he could leave Dallas and go to North Carolina if he wanted to. There's any job he could take. If Duke becomes available, let's say John Shire ends up taking an NBA job and Duke is available, Dusty May could go to Duke. Like, there's the possibilities are endless for Dusty May because he just won a national championship. The amount of success that he has had in college basketball, this is a win-win situation for him. I'm not saying it's a bad move for him to make. I just don't think that when you go to the NBA, most coaches, they're there for a while, and then eventually your luck runs out and you get fired. That's just how it works.
Text the show, 310-840-4910. What date will Dusty May get fired by the Dallas Mavericks? Abdalla would like to know here on the show.
That's not what I said. I just said that eventually you run out of, everybody gets fired in the NBA, or your contract runs out and you're asked not to come back.
All right, so that's one big story in the NBA. Tomorrow night is the NBA draft. So the NBA, and we'll get to this at some point during the show today. The NBA thinks they're football. And they've now split up the draft between nights. So the events will take place Tuesday and Wednesday of this week. And what I mean by events, the first round will be Tuesday night, and the second round will be Wednesday night. Again, we'll get into this a little bit later. I think it's a little ridiculous to have a separate night for the second round picks. How many people really care about that?
I mean, the second night could just be an email.
Sometimes it could be. And I get it. I'm not saying that great players don't get selected in the second round. I'm just saying the fanfare and the television event that is the first round of the draft, there's a reason why the second round goes by quickly, and it's usually after 10 o'clock Eastern, and it rolls quickly, and then you're waiting for GMs and front office execs to speak, and then the night's over.
Yeah.
I don't think they need a second night. But again, the point of bringing it up is tomorrow is round one of the NBA draft. ESPN earlier today was essentially reporting news that news will happen before the draft, but not actually reporting said news. Take a listen. Here's Shams Charania on ESPN television updating us on Giannis Antetokounmpo.
A trade and a resolution is coming for the Milwaukee Bucks with Giannis Antetokounmpo before the NBA draft on Tuesday night. The Bucks are in serious conversations with two finalists, the Miami Heat and the Boston Celtics. Both teams are Giannis's preferred trade destinations, but both of these packages are different deals. The variance of these deals is dramatic. With Boston, it's Jaylen Brown-led package. It's around a veteran player, obviously a superstar caliber player. In Miami, it's a group of cost-controlled players, rookie-scale contracts, significant draft capital in that deal. And so I do want to make this clear, though. Whichever deal occurs, whether it's today or tomorrow, it is going to be a one-to-one deal. It's going to consist of Milwaukee and likely one of these two teams, and that's how it's going to be. There's no third team, fourth team in any construct right now.
So that was Shams Charania earlier today on ESPN television.
Argue with your grandma.
Yeah, thank you, Jaylen Brown. Argue with your grandma. You might be on the move to Milwaukee. There's good intel in the report from Shams. That's not what I'm joking about. The intel of the two teams, Miami and Boston, both being there, interested in going after Giannis Antetokounmpo, that's relevant. And also the information about how it's a one-on-one deal. So if it's with Miami or Boston, It'll be Miami and Milwaukee making the deal, or it'll be Boston and Milwaukee making the deal. There will be no second, third, fourth teams thrown in and people getting picks and, pieces of teams flying all over the NBA. That's good intel. But we knew this. It's not news that the Bucks want this done before tomorrow night in the NBA draft. Their owner is on the record of saying so.
Yes.
So ESPN acting as if it's news that something is likely to happen in the next day before the NBA draft. That's not news. We've known that. That's not breaking news.
Well, we have, but also there were reports late last week that if it didn't happen, that the Bucks were fine just moving on after the draft and seeing what happened, during NBA free agency and throughout the summer. Like, they weren't hell-bent on having something this deadline of tomorrow night. Like, there wasn't a 24-style clock ticking down with Jack Bauer, flipping over tables and shooting people in the leg to get this deal done by tomorrow night when the draft started. Now it seems like somebody better come to the table with a deal by the time the draft starts tomorrow night, because this deal, they're taking a deal, the final and best option tomorrow night. So Boston, Miami, put up your best offer, because Giannis is getting dealt by tomorrow night when the draft starts.
Yeah, and so we'll keep our eyes on it as the show goes along. It is obviously something that we've paid attention to here in the offseason. I'm not sold that it makes, obviously what will happen is if and when the trade goes through, people will immediately say if he's heading to Boston, if Giannis is heading to Boston, all right, the Celtics are the favorites in the East. All right, I'd like to see it on the court first. I mean, Giannis is a great player. How he meshes with Tatum and what they have in Boston, I'm not sure. We'll have to see. Same with Miami. If Miami is essentially giving up a bunch to then land Giannis, and it's Bam Adebayo and Giannis with no guards, is that really winning the Eastern Conference? But I do think what's also notable about this is, did you see over the weekend that Giannis is still trying to play the I'm a good guy, even though I'm forcing my way out of Milwaukee thing?
Of course he is.
Saying that he wants to stay in Milwaukee. He just doesn't want to play for the Bucks. Sure. Okay, pal.
I mean, there's a team that's not too far away from Milwaukee, just a little bit south.
I'm good.
Stop at the Brat stop on the way down.
I'm good.
On your way to Chicago.
I'm good.
There's a few spots on the way.
No, we're good. Caleb Wilson will be drafted 4th overall. He'll be the next superstar of the team. I love it. We're good on the Giannis.
Superb adult emporium on the way down.
Stop. Does Raj know about the adult?
The adult emporium? Oh, there's
in between Illinois and Wisconsin?
Yeah, Raj, there's just across the border, there's a place called Superb Adult Emporium.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
It's also, back in the day, it's the only place close enough across the border where you could buy all your equipment needed for smoking various marijuana.
Weed.
You are our insider in that area.
Yeah. But yes.
Have you spent time there, Abdalla? Have you spent time in this area you're discussing?
I've been in Superb a few times.
Every 16, 17-year-old, you make a drive up.
Yeah. You get that fake and you drive up there and you get in there and you get it.
You stop through.
Maybe
Absolutely.
Giannis can go.
Maybe we can show him something. So we'll keep our eyes on the Giannis Antetokounmpo story. ESPN is reporting that a trade will take place within the next day. Whether it's to Boston or Miami, those are the rumors at the moment in the NBA. And Dusty May is heading to the Mavericks as their head coach. It's Bleck Abdalla here on Westwood One Sports and the Westwood One Sports app. Last time we talked, the U.S. men's national team was gearing up for their second game of group play in the World Cup. They won 2-0 on Friday. So Team USA has already won the Group D. As they still have one more game. I believe it's Wednesday night, their last game of the group stage before the knockout round. The question is this: have people supported and gotten on board, and is this becoming a soccer nation here in the United States? We'll talk about that coming up next. International soccer is taking over the U.S., and only DraftKings has you fully covered.
The DraftKings Sports app is now available in all 50 states. Sweat all the matches you love all in one place with one app. New DraftKings customers sign up with code B&A26 and spend $5 to get $200 in rewards within 21 days.
That's code B&A26 for Bleck and Abdalla 26 in partnership with DraftKings. The crown is yours.
Bet with DK Sportsbook. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 1-800-MY-RESET. New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY. Text HOPE-NY. Connecticut, call 888-789-7777. Visit ccpg.org. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino in Kansas, bet tax pass-through may apply in Illinois. 21 plus, void in Ontario. Event contract trading with DraftKings predictions involve risk of loss. Sportsbook's bonus bets expire in 7 days. $50 in predictions dollars issued weekly for 3 weeks, expire in 1 year. Redeem one non-withdrawable reward. Availability varies. Predictions offer void in New York. Ends June 28th. Terms at dkng.co/audio.
It's an all-deciding Game 3 of the Men's College World Series. UNC, Oklahoma. Who will win the championship in Omaha? Listen to the game live on the Westwood One Sports app. Coverage begins today at 6:45 Eastern. Westwood One Sports.
At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes and 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute. Stations, this is your final time check. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 30 seconds.
This is Bleck and Abdalla on Westwood One Sports. Here's Chris Bleck and Adam Abdalla.
I was listening to Westwood One Sports yesterday afternoon. Heard our good friend Josh Graham talking about the U.S. men's national team. And also I heard Mike Wickett, who did a great job filling in for us on Friday, also hosting last evening right here on Westwood One Sports. And the guys were talking about the U.S. men's national team and the success that they've had through 2 matches in group play at the World Cup. Now, today in the World Cup, it's essentially star day in the World Cup. Today's the day that Argentina is in play. Today's the day that France will play. Norway plays. The reason Norway is important is Erling Haaland is a top striker for the Norwegian team. So he is a mega star in soccer. Obviously, Messi. Some people say he's the greatest player to ever play the game.
Jordan
He'll be in
plays
action
tonight.
Yes, the country. Yes, Jordan will play.
Oh, sorry.
Jordan and Algeria will face off 11 Eastern tonight, FS1, to watch the match.
My fault.
Yeah, not Michael, just Jordan.
Just the country.
Yeah, just Jordan. But the point being, and what I was listening to the guys talk about yesterday was, with the support around the men's national team here in the United States, like, is this becoming a soccer country? And I think it's a good debate, and it's a good conversation, and it's notable because it's happening right now. I do feel like there's an element of living in the moment. Now, if you're just jumping in, and this is your first experience to soccer on this stage, and you are someone that does not follow it at all, and you see that the U.S. has won 2 games in group stage, first of all, that's never happened before.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, that's one to kind of check off, is like, our country has never gotten to this point. Like, we haven't really even accomplished anything. We're just getting out of the group stage by winning 2 matches. Like, we've gotten out of the group stage before. We've never won 2 matches to do it. We've had to cobble together draws and tiebreakers to get out of group stage, right? So the round of 32, we are 9 days away from the round of 32. So you got 9 days to rest up, which means the U.S. has one more game on Thursday night in the group stage, but it doesn't matter for anything. No. They've already won the group, so they can rest players. Christian Pulisic, we'll see if he's back ready to go in 9 days. The calf injury has lingered. That's concerning to me. That seems to be a problem. And, just from, I know it's a different sport, from basketball viewing in the last couple of years, when you have a lingering calf strain, that usually leads to other things. I don't want to say what it leads to. I think we all know what I'm talking about. But hopefully, Pulisic will be good to go for the knockout round. And like, it's cool that people are supporting it. Their TV ratings are outstanding. They're big for these matches. The game on Friday took place during the day, and people watched. People are supporting. The atmosphere in Seattle was really cool. The atmosphere for the first match in Los Angeles was great. And the support here at home is going to be fantastic throughout this entire tournament. But I don't know if we're becoming a soccer country. I don't know if that's the case.
I'm reading what Josh put up because he just retweeted it, so maybe he's listening. I don't know. 10 days into the World Cup, here's a message for two different audiences. To the casual American sports fan, it's time to acknowledge the USA is a soccer nation. To the pretentious stateside EPL bros,
Oh no, he's
our
talking to
soccer
us.
culture has matured enough for you to use American sports terms.
Yeah,
Like,
is he
like-
talking specific? Are we?
I think so. I think
are we
so.
bros?
Like,
are we European soccer
I think,
bros?
I think, I
is
think
that
we
what
are.
he's
I think
saying?
we are EPL bros. And like, here's the
Okay.
thing. Here's the thing. Like, we don't become a swimming nation after the Olympics.
Right.
We don't become an ice skating nation after the Winter Olympics. Like, we watch, and yes, soccer is way more important here and way more popular here than any of those things. But we get around it and we rally and like we love watching it and we chant USA and like we post Freebird and like all that kind of stuff. And it's fun and it's great to root for the country as a whole, and everybody gets around it and there's watch parties and you go to bars and it's fun and it's great. And it's cool because this year, unlike a lot of years in the past, it's actually on at a time where everyone can watch. Like, that's the other good part of this. Like, it's on during the day.
For now.
When everyone is available to watch these
for now.
games.
For now. For now.
But at the same time, you also have to realize that, like, Major League Soccer here in the United States is not good. And it's not on par with the EPL, like I just mentioned and Josh pointed out, because we are EPL bros. And
We do watch
Serie
it.
A
Yeah.
overseas.
The Italian
and
league.
The Bundesliga.
The French league
And La Liga.
German and yeah.
And any of the and even like the Saudi Arabian league, I would even say, where Ronaldo plays.
They have better players in that league. Yes.
Exactly. And so, like, and the MLS also plays on a different schedule than those leagues. The MLS plays during the summer. Those leagues are off during the summer, which is why the World Cup is playing right now.
Which the MLS is correcting.
Yeah, they're going to fix that.
They are in a
gonna
season
fix
or
that.
two. They will be on the same European schedule.
They're
Yes.
going to fix that. So, yeah, it's cool. And every year that the U.S. goes deeper and deeper into the tournament, it's great. But when you watch the U.S. play, and then you watch, like, Brazil put up, like, 5 goals, you're like, oh, that's a different sport. Like, I'm not saying that what the U.S. is accomplishing isn't good, but it's good for them. Like, I'm half Egyptian. Yesterday, for the first time,
Which half?
bottom, in 92 years, 92 years of trying, the Egyptian national team won their first World Cup game. And with my cousins, because it's my dad's side, my cousins, my dad, like, it was the best Father's Day gift. Like, my dad could, and I didn't even get, obviously I didn't give it to him, but like, they celebrated, and over in Cairo, they celebrated like they won the World Cup, winning their first World Cup match. Because that's how progressive it is to do that. Just to win one match means so much. And to progress that, and what it took for that to happen is to have a retired EPL star in Mohamed Salah, who used to play for Liverpool up until this season. He retired after this season. And Omar Marmoush, who plays for Manchester City and didn't really play a lot towards the second half of the season. And, like, that's what got them there.
Yeah, I mean, they have 2 players who are prominent players in Europe.
Exactly. But just winning one game. The country celebrated like they won the World Cup. Like, that's what it means to them. So the fact that the U.S. won the group is huge. And, like, if they get out of the round of 32, if they get to the round of 16, look, if they get to the final 8 or final 4, like, that is massive. Massive.
Yeah, I mean, it's all about perspective. So you can join the show at 310-840-4910. Is the United States a soccer country now? I would say, as someone who watches soccer, and if I had to calibrate and give you a chart on the amount of viewing sports in my year, it goes football, NFL and college, number 1, NBA basketball, number 2, And the sport that I watch the most, third, would be soccer. I watch more soccer than anything else outside of the NBA and then football, college and pro. And so, like, I obsessively watch soccer, but it's also, like, I understand what it is. Like, I don't think anything is going to change here in this country until a couple of things. More Americans embrace the top leagues where great players are playing, or we do actually win the World Cup, could turn a seismic shift into the attention it gets. But with that said, the expectations have to properly be set. And that is what Abdalla just mentioned. The fact that we won the group and we are in the knockout stage with one game to go is a huge accomplishment for us. If we are able to get to the round of 16, that would be an accomplishment. And I think what the goal should be is get to the round of 8.
Yeah.
Now, if you can get to the round of 8, you're then paired up with heavy hitters. And I don't expect this team to pull off some miracle like the 1980 U.S. hockey team and take down the Soviet Union. Like, that is just not what's – I don't think that's in the cards. I don't think we're on the level of France and Spain and England and Germany and Brazil. But I think it shouldn't be something that you shy away from the accomplishment if we got to that point.
Absolutely.
Now the BBC has a live knockout stage bracket trying to slot all the different teams. And if the U.S. were able to get to the final 8, the semifinal, they would be able to, they would face off against, theoretically, Spain. And Spain is one of the 3 or 4 favorites to win the tournament. I'm guessing that is where the run would end for the U.S. men's national team. That would be July 14th. Actually the 10th. July 10th would be the quarterfinal. That would be the round of 8. Okay. That game would be played in California in SoFi Stadium.
If you get there, that's great.
So that would be cool. And I think it's all about managing expectations, because I don't think that a deep run in this tournament is really going to change the way most Americans consume soccer. Here's the other thing. I take offense to Josh calling us your EPL soccer bros.
He didn't tag us. So, like,
he's talking about us.
Yeah, he's subtweeting us.
I know our guy.
He's subtweeting us.
I know our guy.
He's subtweeting us.
Here's the thing. The reason I watch soccer is because it's the only thing on at the time.
Yeah, it's on in the morning.
So, like, here's why it's easy. And you don't have to get into, like, oh, do I get it or whatever. Saturday and Sunday mornings during the winter, before football, NFL football, or college football starts, EPL is on. So you watch it. So if you want to watch live sports on Saturday or Sunday morning, it's just live sports that are on, and there's no competition with the stuff we really care about in this country.
You remember when Raj asked us our favorite, if you had to pick one pregame show to watch?
Yeah.
And I said the EPL.
Well, it's really good.
The
Rebecca
EPL,
Lowe is fantastic.
Well, no. Pregame before NFL games. And I said I don't. I watch live soccer because that's live sports that are on. I mean, look, the reason I compared it to another country is because we have our expectations. Look at the way, like, the darlings of the tournament. Like, you talk about Cinderella stories in the NCAA tournament. What Cape Verde is doing right now, the way they're celebrating draws against teams, like, that's their expectation.
Or did you see last week the fan from the Congo doing his dance?
Exactly. Like their expectation is to come in and get crushed by every game, by every team in every game that they play, be at the bottom of their group, and leave the country and then go back home and thanks for making the World Cup. That was the accomplishment. But no, they've had 2 draws. They have a chance to get out of the group if they play well in their 3rd game. And, like, they're celebrating like every game like they've won the World Cup because their expectation was so low, but they're celebrating draws like they've won the whole thing. It's crazy.
Is the United States a soccer nation now? You can call the show at 310-840-4910. We'll get to your phone calls coming up next. It's Bleck Abdalla here on Westwood One Sports.
The U.S. men's national team is 2-0 for the first time since 1930. After an historic start, is it too early to dream of America celebrating its 250th birthday with a World Cup trophy? Westwood One Sports.
At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will be in 3 minutes and 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute. Stations, this is your final time check. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 30 seconds.
This is Bleck and Abdalla on Westwood One Sports. Here's Chris Bleck and Adam Abdalla.
Can the USA be a soccer country? You know, in the great powers, and we're specifically talking about the men's side, right? The women's side, they are. The women have had a lot of success in international soccer. They've won World Cups. They've won gold medals. The women's side, they're good. The men's side, can they win a World Cup? Can they turn this country into a soccer-loving country? I feel like every generation, we are told as young people that there's going to be a change. The next generation, they'll be the ones that are soccer-loving people, right? And each generation grows up, and it just doesn't ever take here in the U.S.
I mean, listen, my favorite part of the World Cup so far has been Zlatan Ibrahimovic. And
he's been awesome.
And the fact that the world gets to appreciate the Zlatan. Because if you know anything about Zlatan, you refer to him, even before this, you refer to him as the Zlatan.
Yeah, he is.
And like his run in the MLS was awesome because it was men amongst boys. Like when he came in for LAFC, he was just dominating. And he said the U.S. men's national team has a chance to win. Like, I mean, look, this was after their I think it was after their second win, like right after. He was like, yeah, they have a chance to win. Well, but again, it's perspective. I think if you face off against, it depends on your draw and all that kind of stuff. I think if they face off against Spain in the round of 8, it's going to be tough. But I think that if everything goes right, everybody's healthy, I think they have a chance to get to the final 8, maybe even the final 4.
To be fair, along those lines, it's Spain and Germany are the only heavy hitters on the U.S. team's side of the bracket, where the other side of the bracket is everyone else. France, England, Portugal, Argentina, Uruguay, Belgium. All of the other heavy hitters are on the other side of the bracket. So the U.S. does have a somewhat favorable draw if they are able to get to that point. You can call the show at 310-840-4910. Is this turning into a soccer country? We go to Tom in Michigan. You're on with Bleck Abdalla. What's up, Tom?
Yeah, hey you guys. Thanks for taking my call. No, I don't. I don't think so. And just please hear me out. This will always be number 1, football, professional football, college football. Number 2, professional basketball, college basketball. Then you can either go third, either flip baseball or hockey. And I would even put NASCAR, stock car racing, NASCAR, in front of soccer. We're having a good little run this year, but nobody's going to care about. We get knocked out. No one's going to care about soccer for the next 4 years. So I definitely say no. It's just one of those weird niche sports in this country. You got football, basketball, hockey, baseball, and soccer has no chance, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's a great call. Thank you, Tom. Thank you for the phone call. And you can join us at 310-840-4910. No chance, weird little niche sport from Tom in Michigan.
Well, look, it's never going to overtake the NFL or college football or even the NBA.
No.
I don't even think it's like the MLS. That's the issue is the MLS is never going to overtake like baseball or anything like that. What you need to is the stars that you're watching, the Erling Haalands of Norway, the Lamine Yamals that's playing for Spain, like those players. You got to have the U.S., the Americans, watch them in their leagues. You have to get enough American players on these American teams. You have to get Americans to start watching them when they go back overseas and start playing for their club teams.
There are two things to why the team this year for the U.S. is better than what we've seen in the past. One, we now have a manager who coached in the Premier League.
For now.
Yeah, but that's not the point. That's besides the point. The point is we have someone with real credentials in Europe who's coaching and managing this club. That's one. And the second part of that is that you can essentially go a starting 11 of all players who are playing for big clubs in Europe.
Yeah.
That's the difference. It's not the conversation has nothing to do with the MLS because that ain't it.
No.
It's never going to be it. It's just not the case. But we now have players who are playing in the top leagues and guys who are on teams and clubs in the top leagues who are big-time contributors.
Yeah.
Like Weston McKennie at Juventus, or Pulisic, AC Milan, or pick the player who is over there playing and making a difference for their clubs. Now, Freeman played in the MLS, and then he got bought, and he's now over in Europe.
Yeah.
So he is a homegrown player that played for the MLS. Now he's playing in Europe, which we are now seeing him grow into quite the player, right? Like, it's cool. So, like, all of that kind of factors into it. And I think that it's not about the MLS becoming something. It's more about Americans need to just watch where the real soccer is being played.
Yeah.
Like, that's the key, is that if you watch the great teams, you might be into it.
Yeah.
And it might be different. But I'm also someone who enjoys soccer, and I don't really care if it becomes a sport in this country. I'm enjoying it the way I enjoy it.
Well, and the other issue,
like I'm not trying to force it on you.
Well,
like,
exactly. Yeah. If you don't want to watch the sport that I watch, like, that's fine. The other issue is you have to find a reason to, and I don't think Americans in general are just going to watch for the love of the game, right? With the MLS, you at least have, like, we broadcast out of Chicago, we would be like Fire fans, right? You would have to, in order to, I think, get a majority of Americans to watch the EPL, for example, like, they'd have to pick a team, I think. I don't think they would just start watching games for the love of the game.
And that's tough, right?
Yeah.
Because, like, it's
like,
just,
how are you picking a team?
Well, that's a broader sports conversation, right? Like, usually people grow up with the team because their dad was a fan of that team, or their grandfather was a fan of their team, or they live in that specific area for a very long time. So, like, if you're just playing fan free agency and you're just jumping in, like, you don't have the decades or the history of your family suffering with the team or celebrating with your team. So I could see it being challenging. Bleck Abdalla here on Westwood One Sports. We go to Ray in Chicago. You're on with us. What do you think, Ray? Is this turning into a soccer country?
Hey, fellas, by the way, really quick, Adam and Raj, I hope you guys had great Father's Day yesterday.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah. This isn't what I would call it about, but I'll say this, guys. I'm from Chicago, and I'm maybe a couple of years older than you. When I grew up here, I played baseball at the parks, and then there was Pop Warner football. But, like, in the last, 10, 15 years, all the parks have soccer leagues. So I think maybe not now, but you could say in the next 15 or 20 years, soccer can definitely move up a little bit here in America, just because the younger generation kids are playing more soccer, whether their parents are afraid to put them in football or whatever. So I do see that. It's way different than when we were kids, I think that's fair. But I did have a question for you guys regarding the draft and NBA, because I wanted to call Friday. So this especially happens in NBA when they do the player comps. How come it's always a white guy compared to a white guy or whatever? Have you guys ever noticed that, or vice versa? Like, in my opinion, I want Caleb Wilson, but I have a feeling something's going to go awry and we're going to get Boozer, which he's going to be a good consolation prize. I feel he's a little bit better defensively, maybe a little bit more athletic, but he's basically, his comp is Vucevic. Like, if I'm wrong on that, but I'm going to hang up. I don't want to take too much of your time, but I wanted to throw that out there. Thanks, fellas.
Thank you, Ray. I don't know if I would compare Caleb Wilson to, Brian Scalabrine. I don't think that those two players would match.
Some people think Boozer might be the best player in the draft.
Bleck Abdalla, sponsored by Progressive Commercial Insurance, protecting small businesses with affordable coverage options. Quote today at progressivecommercial.com. Yeah, so we're taking your phone calls and your texts at 310-840-4910, talking about soccer. People have the fever. The World Cup's taking place. There's a lot of great action taking place today in the World Cup. A lot of stars will be in action. And something that we pay attention to, along with the World Cup here on the Bleck Abdalla Show, is the soup. The World Cup of Soup. Abdalla has a new soup to taste test today, and he will do that coming up next right here on Westwood One Sports.
This is Westwood One Sports.
At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes and 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute. Stations, this is your final time check. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 30 seconds.
This is Bleck and Abdalla on Westwood One Sports. Here's Chris Bleck and Adam Abdalla.
That's right. Bleck and Abdalla here on Westwood One Sports, the Westwood One Sports app, Sirius XM channel 375, and all of our great radio affiliates around the country. I'm Chris Bleck along with Adam Abdalla, broadcasting live from downtown Chicago each and every day. On the air until 3 Eastern, hanging out with you. You can always call and text the show. We're talking about the U.S. men's national team, soccer. Is this country becoming a soccer nation? We'll take your phone calls at 310-840-4910. You can also text at the same number. As we follow along with the World Cup, Abdalla, we here on this show like to celebrate the World Cup with a segment called the World Cup of Soup.
No soup for you.
Bleck and Abdalla's World Cup of Soup.
Soup is good food.
Here on the show, the World Cup of Soup, Abdalla has been trying soups. He selects a country from each group of the group stage of the World Cup, and he taste tests on the air the soup. Abdalla, catch us up to speed. How many soups have you tried to this point?
I've tried 6 soups so far, Chris, because we have had 6. We've gone through 6 groups in the stages here. We did 6 last week. We'll do 6 this week as we get through all of the groups. There are 12 groups here in the World Cup. We'll have a double-up day, as we had a double-up day last week. We've had soups from South Korea, Canada, Morocco, the US of A, Ecuador, Japan. We've had soups from all of those great countries.
Okay.
And today, after their great win yesterday, I said last week I wasn't going to do Egypt because I am Egyptian. I've sampled all of Egypt's fine soups.
You weren't going to taste it as well.
Yeah. Well, you know, I've sampled all of Egypt's fine soups.
Yeah.
I don't need to eat more Egyptian soup.
Okay.
However,
all right,
after yesterday's win, being down 1-0 at halftime, scoring 3 unanswered goals, and having the first World Cup win in 92 years, I had to get an Egyptian soup to celebrate.
So you're going to Group G today.
Going to
Group G is Egypt, Iran, Belgium, and New Zealand.
Yes, also Egypt was the easiest one to find from
Oh,
those
really?
because I know a lot of Egyptian restaurants here in the city.
I'm sure you could find a Belgium soup somewhere.
Sure. Just pour some waffles and some syrup.
What about
and,
Iran?
Iran's so far away. So
Thank you.
I went to Salam in Arab town. I can call it that because I am Egyptian. They're also, if you ever need late night food in the city, Salam is open till 1:30 in the morning. Great spot if you need late night food.
Okay.
And I'm eating what
You act like in the city of Chicago, restaurants are not open that late.
We've tried to get late night food in the city. If you want a good late night Arab food is great. I'm just telling you. I'm going with a soup called molokhia. And what molokhia is, I didn't go lentil soup. I went with a Egyptian specific food. Especially molokhia is an Egyptian spinach. And you stew the spinach, and then you put chicken in it. You can put rice in it. You put garlic in it, some lemon. And essentially, this soup came, and I'll put a picture of it online. On Twitter at Adam A. Abdalla. It came with the soup, the spinach, and the lemon and the garlic, and then on the side, I kid you not, a half chicken and rice, like a whole half chicken and rice, and then I had to construct it together to put it together. That's how it came.
Yeah, that's chicken and rice, and then a soup
and
to the
then a
side.
soup on the side, and then they're like, put it together. Figure it out. And I'm like, okay. So that's what I did. I put it together. I diced up the chicken, put the rice in, made it. I know this is going to be good as we celebrate, as I celebrate.
All right, so Abdalla is now scooping.
This is not, no, unfortunately, this is not a Slurpee soup.
Yeah, that looks like a paste.
It's a stew.
There's not a lot of liquid I see. I see
more of a
mash. That looks like a mashed potato consistency.
As soup as you want. You can pour the soup on top of the rice and the chicken and then like mix it up together as like a vegetable side if you want to. It came pretty soupy. And then I added more rice and because it's kind of like have you ever had like okra before?
Yes.
Okay,
I have.
so it's kind of like
yeah.
It's kind of like, what's the best way to put it? Like mucusy? That's kind of a gross way to say it, but it's kind of slimy. All right, here we go. Molokhia.
There it is. He's going in, face first into the soup. You can watch the show on Twitter. Bleck and Abdalla Show, live streaming right now.
It tastes like a win. It tastes like victory.
Okay.
It tastes the garlic. Got the chicken in there. That chicken was crispy too. You know, like they cook it on the grill,
Yeah.
burn it up a little bit.
Saw the char marks. It looked nice. Looked like a nice chicken.
Right. A little slurp to it. Because they stewed the crap out of this molokhia, this Egyptian spinach. Because that's what the name of it's not molokhia soup. Molokhia is the name of the
Technique.
no, the spinach.
Spice?
The spinach.
Spinach.
Yeah.
There it is. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give it
How you doing over there?
3.9.
Oh no.
3.9.
You didn't really like it.
3.9. I'm not the
Okay.
biggest spinach.
All right.
I'm not the biggest spinach
There it
fan.
is. 3.9.
I'm not the biggest spinach fan, and
World Cup of soup.
I'm not the biggest
Yeah.
spinach fan, and the texture.
Wow.
The texture is not for me. But the chicken,
for you.
the
Bleck
chicken's where it's
Abdalla's
at.
World Cup of Soup.
Soup is
Sorry.
good food.
Wow.
sorry.
Abdalla's out on spinach and the texture.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Jeez.
Listen,
Your people.
if I had gotten kushari, which is like rice and lentils, and that's not soup at all. That's just a whole different Arab dish.
Yeah.
That would have been a 10 out of 5.
Okay. All right. So you didn't enjoy it.
No,
Okay.
it's good.
All
It's
right.
a 4 out of 5. I didn't
All
give it a
right.
2. I can give it a 1.
All right, so there you go. The
Why not?
World Cup of Soup. Abdalla each day from the group stage, he will select a soup from one of the groups. Today it was Group G. He went with Egypt.
I'll tell you this: if it was just the chicken and rice, 5 out of 5.
Well, yeah, I mean, the picture you showed me, it looked great. The rice and the
Yeah.
chicken looked fantastic.
The chicken and rice, 5 out of 5.
Man, you're not into spinach. That's
I'm not.
interesting.
Yeah, I'm not like that. Not
Wow.
stewed spinach. I'll put spinach in a salad or something like that.
Well, what's wrong with it? It's just still spinach.
I don't like the texture, the
very
mucusy, the
picky.
slimy texture
Very picky.
that creates.
It's just green.
No, it's a if you've ever had it, dude, I'm telling you, it's like this it's like a slimy, like ochre-y texture. It's weird.
What's wrong with a little slime?
Nah,
Abdalla, what's wrong with that?
Not for me.
So there you go. World Cup of Soup here on the Bleck and Abdalla show. We will continue on tomorrow with a new soup as Abdalla goes from group to group here in the group stage. The World Cup has been a lot of fun. Did you see the fans that drank Boston Dry, then headed down to Miami? Are they the Scotland fans?
Yeah. They went from Boston, the Scots. They went from Boston to Miami because that's where their team is now playing because they're playing all over the country. Yeah.
And they realize that there is quite a difference in temperature from
Yeah.
going from the Northeast
Yeah.
all the way down to Miami. Take a listen to this.
I'd say it's probably the hottest place I've ever been in the world, and not looking forward to wearing the kilt, to be honest with you.
It's good. It's hot. It's expensive, but we're just happy to be here to see Scotland beat Brazil.
Fantastic, hot and sweaty. Just flew in from Boston 2 or 3 hours ago, so it's taken a bit of adjusting.
As to be expected.
But lovely. Yeah, lovely so far. Yeah.
So there they
It's
are.
hot, it's sweaty, and it's expensive.
Yes, the news report on the fans following along the Scotland team going from Boston to Miami.
Not looking forward to wearing that kilt to the game. Could you imagine wearing that kilt to a game in Miami? Like, I know it's open, so the air might flow through, but
does the air get up, though? It flows past. I don't know if it's going up.
I mean,
I don't know if it's cooling any bits up top.
I mean, when you wear stuff in Scotland, you wear it because it's colder there.
Because it's like thick.
It's cold and thick. Yeah.
You don't want to be wearing that.
Yeah. Have you ever tried to put on a kilt?
No, I haven't.
So a kilt is just a really long piece of fabric.
Yeah, you wrap it.
And you just like roll it. You just kind of like wrap it around you.
Sure.
And it's a lot of fabric.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
So like that's gonna be if they keep up with the tradition, it's gonna be real hot.
In
swampy, dude. In Miami, swampy.
It's like, have you ever been on the golf course and you see a friend who's wearing like the thick like cargo shorts?
Yeah.
Or short, like in this day and age, like usually everyone's wearing like active wear.
Yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like
yeah.
so like
athleisure.
Yeah. So like the shorts are like breathable, right?
Yeah,
They're for but then like every once in a while you'll see someone that's wearing the thick like
Because it's the only shorts that they own,
Yeah,
and they
like,
golf like twice a year. Yeah.
thick like Dockers shorts or whatever, and you know, like it's
Dockers,
right? Like, and it's like a thick material, and you're like hot day. You're like, man, how are you functioning
sagging.
like
Yeah.
that? Like
Yeah.
that doesn't work at all. So I mean, that's one aspect. The fans all over the country enjoying the United States for the first time, not knowing that Miami was that
A little bit of a price difference too,
yeah.
apparently, between Boston and Miami.
Yeah. I do also have this question that I need to bring to the table with you is, are we good on Elmo, or is Elmo a traitor?
No. Okay. So
are we good? Is Elmo anti-American?
Did you see what
this...
Jalen Brunson bridged the gap?
Oh, okay.
So mended fences.
Good.
So I think we're okay with Elmo.
Okay, so Knicks fans are okay with Elmo
I don't know.
now?
Jalen Brunson tried.
Jalen Brunson tried to fix it. But, you know, Elmo just wants teams to have fun. And he tried that same bit with Team USA. And people were starting to question whether or not Elmo is a traitor. Yes, the fictional character, Elmo. Take a listen as Elmo sets the record straight.
Just to be clear, Elmo wants Team USA to win, okay? But Elmo loves everybody. Just to be clear. Don't make this a thing. Thank you. Elmo loves you, and Elmo loves you, and Elmo loves you, and Team USA, and everybody who's playing.
So just to be clear, Elmo is out there releasing social media posts. He wants the USA to win, but just to be clear, don't make this a thing.
My favorite is when he looks right at the camera and goes, "Don't make this a thing." I love everybody. I love you, but I want Team USA to win because Sesame Street is in New York, which is in the USA.
Yes.
Don't make this a thing.
Well, I didn't know. Is Elmo maybe rooting for a country that is un-American?
Don't make this a thing.
I don't know.
Stop it.
I'm glad that he's on board.
Stop it.
I'm glad that he believes that they can win as well.
He believes.
We go to Zach in Michigan. He's on the phone lines with Bleck Abdalla. What's up, Zach?
What's going on, gentlemen? Congrats, Adam, on your Egyptian win. As a Liverpool fan, it's good to see Mo Salah happy and celebrating in the crowd.
Yeah, absolutely.
And 2 goals away from breaking his manager's record for the team, so that's pretty cool. So I have a different opinion than your last caller. I know that the old heads in the country are still on like the anti-soccer. We make fun of the sport, but I grew up, so I'm 32. I graduated in 2012. I never played soccer as a kid. I was a baseball kid, later football. And then, you know, in high school, played FIFA with all my friends, kind of got into a team. So I started playing with like Liverpool. And, you know, after a couple of years of that was like my creative character team. I started watching the games and rooting for the players. And then I became a soccer fan and started watching. Now, like my dad never was a soccer fan, always made fun of soccer players. And it was like, you know, you're not a soccer player, you're a baseball player, you're a football player. And I was a lot of parents back then. Well, about 4 years ago, probably right after the World Cup, right around the World Cup, I got my dad to start watching Liverpool games with me in the mornings. And he watched like 3 games, and they were all Liverpool, like last-second goals to win or to tie, and he became hooked. Now I got him Cody Gakpo jerseys. He's got Szoboszlai jerseys. He's all in now. The last 3 years watching Liverpool, and I think now that's not a trend. You know, I'm not going to take anecdotal evidence as that's like this is going to be how it is. But I've turned on some of my friends to soccer. I've turned my dad, and I just see kids in the new generation, they are not as passionate as even my generation in 2012 about football. You have these kids now where they don't get involved in football because of like concussions and parents are worried and they don't play. But even the kids, I coach football. I'm a huge supporter of football. I coach high school sports. I've been coaching high school sports for 10 years. It is an entirely different feel and mentality that kids have in football now. They don't have the knack for it that they always like. They don't have the passion. They would rather like play video games and be on social media and hang out with their friends. So I see that trend, and I see like baseball, went off the last couple of years, and hockey I think is making a nice comeback, but it was off for the last couple of years. And with football just being really convoluted in like penalties and referees, with baseball, like the MLB being dominated by like 3 or 4 teams, I think there's a void that kids in soccer can pick up. I think the one thing we need is one really big superstar from the United States to shine in one of these leagues. And I think that just kickstarts it off. If not, it would be like the United States going really, really far in a World Cup or something like that.
Yeah, Zach, and that's a great call. And thanks for the phone call. Call again, okay? My man, 310-840-4910. I'd say this, like, I don't know if it necessarily needs to be one specific thing that kicks it off. And I don't think stars coming over here is necessarily the answer because to explain it to someone who doesn't watch soccer, the stars that are here, it's essentially, right, Messi is here in the States playing for Inter Miami.
Mm-hmm.
That's MJ with the Wizards, okay? And then the other stars who have come over, it's like Shaq with the Celtics.
Yeah.
Right? Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's stars at the end of their careers getting paid, still participating and playing. Like, and that wasn't a shot at Messi. Messi is still great.
Yeah.
And we'll see today when Argentina plays, right? Like, I'm sure he'll do something spectacular. But what ends up happening is that we're getting the stars over here who are like past their prime, and that's what it is. And I don't know, like, to me the conversation isn't necessarily are fans going to step away from football or baseball or basketball. I don't think that's what it's about, because if you really were interested in soccer, like, you can kind of watch soccer without interrupting your other sports habits.
Yeah.
Which is why I got into it, is because there's nothing else on at 7 a.m. on a Saturday morning in the fall.
Exactly.
Right? And in the winter, when you can't really be outside, because we live in a part of the country where we get winter, in the middle of December on a Saturday morning at 7 a.m., there's nothing to do. So you flip on the TV and boom, you can watch, like our caller there in Michigan said, I'm watching Liverpool, or you're watching Man City, or you're watching Chelsea, or whoever it is. I think it's just an added element of sports that you can add to the.
I think what he said was interesting, because he was like, I got my dad to watch, and he watched like 2 last-second goals, where they won. You got lucky, like you could have shown him a draw that was kind of boring, and then you totally, got him off soccer forever. Like with hockey, I think that they've done a lot to increase the scoring. Baseball's done a lot to increase the scoring and the speed and that kind of thing. Like, the biggest complaint from Americans that don't want to watch soccer is that, why would I want to watch something that ends in 0-0 or ends in 1-0 all the time? And it's like, well, yeah, but hockey does that a lot of the times. Baseball does that a lot of the times. Yes, there can be action. Yes, there cannot be action.
Well, I would say the counter to that, though, is, and I know Raj's head is going to explode. We have talked way too much soccer today here on the show, but just one final thought. I know Raj is just going to. He's coming up in just moments.
Raj is gone, I think, at this point.
And here's the one thing I would say to the American sports fan that has spent the last 8 months bitching about the NBA and teams tanking. The one brilliance about European soccer is that no matter the team, where they're placed within the league, no matter what point of the season it is, all of the teams are playing for something at all times. So you mentioned like he got lucky, although when you watch European soccer, you may have a draw, right? 2 teams could tie. But in the game itself, those teams are actively trying to score and win at all times throughout the season, because there is no such thing as tanking.
No. You never get the commissioner of the EPL coming out and saying, we need to fix the game. We need to fix the game.
Do you get what I'm saying? So, like, even if you have a match that is not interesting and one team's far better than the other, the goal differential is something that matters.
Yep.
And so teams will actively try until the end of the match in the EPL, because it all accumulates to a final total.
Yep.
and it all matters. So, I mean, if you're an American and you're sick of watching your baseball teams be at the bottom of the standings because they never spend and they just get to cash in checks because their team sucks every year, and you're a Pirates fan and your team's never actually going to try, that doesn't happen in soccer.
Yeah.
Same goes to if you're an NBA fan and you're mad that 12 teams last year all tanked, that doesn't happen in soccer. So, I mean, it can go both ways. I think it's an added bonus. All right, Raj. There you go. There's some soccer conversation.
All right, Raj.
The NBA draft is tomorrow. And all I know, I could tell. The NBA draft is tomorrow, and we are told, reports say from ESPN, that Giannis will be traded by tomorrow. Where will he land? We'll go one-on-one with Raj coming up next. But before we get to that point, international soccer is taking over the U.S., and only DraftKings has you fully covered.
The DraftKings Sports app is now available in all 50 states. Sweat all the matches you love all in one place with one app. New DraftKings customers sign up with code B&A26 and spend $5 to get $200 in rewards within 21 days.
That's code B&A26 for Bleck and Abdalla 26 in partnership with DraftKings. The crown is yours.
Bet with DK Sportsbook. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 1-800-MY-RESET. New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY. Text HOPE-NY. Connecticut, call 888-789-7777. Visit ccpg.org. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino in Kansas, bet tax pass-through may apply in Illinois. 21 plus, void in Ontario. Event contract trading with DraftKings predictions involve risk of loss. Sportsbook's bonus bets expire in 7 days. $50 in predictions dollars issued weekly for 3 weeks, expire in 1 year. Redeem one non-withdrawable reward. Availability varies. Predictions offer void in New York. Ends June 28th. Terms at dkng.co/audio.
The NBA offseason comes with big questions about big stars. Where will Giannis call home? Will LeBron return to LA? Could Jaylen Brown be on the move? Stay on top of all the NBA news and moves. Westwood One Sports.
At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes and 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute. Stations, this is your final time check. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 30 seconds.
This is Bleck and Abdalla on Westwood One Sports. Here's Chris Bleck and Adam Abdalla.
Live from Chicago each and every day, it's Bleck and Abdalla here on Westwood One Sports and the Westwood One Sports app. We now go on out to Colorado, parts unknown. And that's where we find Raj Sharon. That's right.
The next question comes from the line of Raj Sharan with Westwood One. Please proceed.
Please proceed. Hello, Raj, parts unknown, Colorado. I'm sorry for all the soccer conversations at this point in the show.
Are you okay?
We are sorry.
Waking up a little bit here, fellas, but we're going to be
Easy
just...
Zlatan.
Oh, come on.
Easy Zlatan. Saying he fell asleep during one of the matches yesterday.
It's all right.
I'm telling you, man.
Zlatan's a treasure.
People do not understand.
Yeah.
Zlatan is, I hope he sticks around and does so. I hope a network picks him up for some form of soccer coverage. He is so good at this.
He's great, and the crap that he's given Alexi Lawless has been fantastic.
He is so bad at this.
All right, Raj, time to go one-on-one. What's up?
All right, fellas, let's start off in the NBA. Giannis Antetokounmpo, we're expecting a trade either today or tomorrow. And it sounds like we kind of know the big pieces that Milwaukee is choosing between. So I ask you, what's the better return from the Milwaukee standpoint? We've talked a lot about Giannis and his fit. What about the Bucks? What's the better deal for the Bucks? Getting back the, as Shams put it, cost-controlled players and a lot of draft capital that would come from the Miami Heat, or a Boston package that's centered around Jaylen Brown? Abdalla, what's the better return from the Bucks standpoint?
I like the idea of Jaylen Brown going and you building around him, because picks are unknown, and at least with Jaylen Brown, you get a guy who we saw last year lead a team to at least a 2 seed. You know, I like that idea.
Argue with your grandma.
All right, yeah, Jaylen Brown, argue with your grandma on the live stream. I think you can actually do a lot of live streaming from Milwaukee.
Yeah.
I think that's a great spot for someone to set up shop into live stream. Raj, to answer your question, I think the Miami option is the best option for the Milwaukee Bucks because I want the picks. I think that's the key here. If they can get draft capital back, I would forego the Jaylen Brown. Yeah, you get back a star, but Jaylen Brown by himself is not winning anything. So start where you get the star back, but then in like a year and a half, you realize this ain't it anyways. So you got to move Jaylen Brown, and then you're starting from scratch again. So I'm going to go Miami's offer is the best offer.
All right, guys, the other big NBA story today, Dusty May is leaving Michigan to go become the head coach of the Dallas Mavericks. Bleck, this move is or is not a referendum on the current state of college sports?
Oh, I think it is. I totally agree with that thought. It is a referendum on the current landscape of college athletics. The fact that with the NIL and the transfer portal and the fact that all of the conferences are coming together and they want to change, and now, the NCAA tournament, the best tournament that we have now, is expanding even farther out. More teams are included. I think that this is a sign that if you are a great coach in basketball, the pinnacle of the profession is getting to the NBA. And it's not being the guy on a college campus for 30 plus years winning national titles. It's just, that's not the case. It's the NBA. So yes, I think it is.
Well, from the horse's mouth himself, or at least a source close to the horse.
Mr. Ed?
That rhymed.
A horse?
A source close to the horse.
Ooh, pretty good.
From Jeff Goodman of the Field of 68, a source very close to Dusty May on the main reasons he left Michigan for the NBA. Quote, the state of college basketball and not knowing what it's going to look like tomorrow, in a month, or in 5 years. And number two, the organization and the chance to coach Cooper Flagg. So number one is the state of college basketball. Number two is because it's the Mavs and Cooper Flagg. So, yeah, I mean, look, I also think it's because of who he is. And because you have a chance, if you're Dusty May, leaving on top and having won a national championship, you're also whenever you leave the Mavs, whether it's because you choose to leave the Mavs, if a better job in college basketball becomes available, or if you get fired, or if they don't renew your contract, whatever it is, you also go back having the last thing you done being won a national championship. So you're going back having your pick of jobs. If the North Carolina job becomes available again, you can take it. If John Shire leaves to go take a job in the NBA and that job becomes available and they interview you, you can take it.
Yeah.
If you want to go back to Michigan, you can take it. So he's leaving on top. So yeah, like if he wants to, and this NBA job doesn't work out, he can just go back to the world of college basketball, because I'm sure the Mavs gave him a pretty sweet deal too. I'm sure they gave him a lot of money to leave the Michigan.
Okay. I like what you said there. Can I give you an example? Can you explain to me?
Mm-hmm.
So you're saying you left on top, you won championships, and then you won a championship, and then you left, and you just go back and have whatever gig you want?
Yeah.
What happened to Billy Donovan in this offseason?
Well, Billy Donovan,
he won at Florida.
Yeah.
He went to the NBA. He now wants back in college.
Does he want back in?
I don't know.
Or did he wait too long? Or did he wait too long to get back in?
He didn't get the North Carolina gig.
No. He waited too long.
Okay. All right. Raj?
All right, guys, rumors picked up over the weekend again about Max Crosby. Those sort of picked back up. And there were two teams that were focused upon. So I ask you guys, where's Max Crosby going to play this season? Is he going to continue to play for the Raiders? Is he going to be a member of the Philadelphia Eagles? Or Abdalla, is he going to be a member of the 49ers?
When did the Micah Parsons trade happen? Because that was like right before the season started, wasn't it?
Yeah, because he was laying on the trainer's table during preseason games.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was August 28th. So we still have a lot of time that this could take place. And I never doubt Howie Roseman's ability to wheel and deal and make something happen. So I think it's either going to be the Raiders or the Eagles. I don't think it's going to be the 49ers. But if I had to bet today that where he starts the season, I'll say the Raiders still. I don't think the Eagles are going to be able to get something done. I would still say the Raiders. Still say the Raiders.
To answer Raj's question, I'm going to go Eagles as well. I agree that they're the team that can get stuff done, and they usually do. So if those are the new rumors that the Eagles and the Niners are rumored, I would imagine Eagles would get it done over San Francisco. An interesting side note that you just mentioned. You mentioned Micah Parsons. Raj, did you see the kind of conversation around Micah Parsons over the weekend?
Mm-hmm.
Did you see that his brother on social media
did
kind of made a suspicious, how would you say it, suggestion that Parsons could be out for half of the season this year?
Isn't that the timeline?
No, the timeline would put him ready to go for the start of the season.
Well, they have this 9-month.
Oh, the Packers.
The Packers timeline.
Yeah,
has him going until not starting to ramp up until the middle of September, end of September.
You and I and Raj, we looked at the Packers schedule and we were trying to figure out when he could return.
It was not going to be till October something.
You're right, and we questioned whether or not Green Bay could wait that long in the season.
It's not far away from the timeline of what that suggests.
Yeah, weren't we talking about
weeks.
week 8, which would be Thursday, October 29th, the end of October against Carolina as a possible return date?
And look, that's not saying, I don't think his brother was saying he's going to miss half the season. I think
pretty close to half the season.
I know, but that could be something offhanded being I don't know, man, that's he could miss half the season or something.
That's
you
not
know
good.
what I mean? Yeah, of course it's not good.
Sorry, Raj.
That's why I questioned the Packers at the time, being dude, if he's ready, he's ready. Play.
Right.
Come on. The guy's a freak of nature. What are we doing?
He is. And finally,
Sorry,
guys, if you're new to the program, Chris Bleck has thoughts on what some might call Disney adults. He has strong opinions on this. So I just want to preface that before I give the final one-on-one question today. So Toy Story 5 opened over the weekend to a whopping $312 million worldwide. I was some of them. I took my daughter yesterday.
Ooh, was
All
it
right,
good?
Chris Bleck. Yes, I enjoyed it. Toy Story should be regarded as one of the great cinematic franchises of all time. Or Toy Story should be regarded as one of the great children's cinematic franchises of all time, Mr. Bleck.
Okay, yeah, you're going to come right to me on this, and I appreciate that, Raj, because not only do I have strong thoughts on those who are Disney adults, but I also enjoy film, and I can acknowledge that Toy Story and the Toy Story franchise is probably one of the greatest film franchises to ever exist. So I can separate the two. I can acknowledge what it is, and the movies are great. Saying that I have thoughts on Disney adults has nothing to do with the fact that those are great movies. The Toy Story movies are awesome.
So, Chris, could you see you and Autumn just going and buying a pair of tickets and going and checking out Toy Story 5? Just a couple of childless adults checking it out?
Probably not. We would probably take our nephews if that were the case. She's mad at me because I still haven't taken her to go see The Devil Wears Prada 2. And I lightly suggested last week that we go see it. I was trying to be nice, right? I remembered she wanted to see it. Mm-hmm. She was like, "It's not in theaters anymore."
Oh my God.
It's not in theaters, and so I lost that.
You got yelled at.
That was no good. I mean, she was yelling for comedic effect.
Yeah.
But yes, I lost that one. But no, I don't think I would go see it, Raj, unless we took little ones with us.
Abdalla, great franchise or great children's franchise?
No, I think it's a great franchise.
It's a great franchise.
I mean, I think it's got likability for everybody. I think when parents want to go see it too and take their kids and enjoy it just as much as the kids do, I think it's great. I think it's awesome. I think that, obviously it's held up all these years that they have made 5 of them, and people were excited when they announced the 5th one.
They're great movies.
Yeah.
They're great movies.
But at the same time, as much as that franchise is great, I'm not going to dress up as Woody and go to the theater. When I take my daughter to go see it. Just I'm not going to dress up
Lil Bo Peep?
The Godfather when I go see The Godfather.
I thought we were just naming different
no, I'm
characters
just naming
from
franchises.
The film.
No, I'm not going to I'm not going to get a whip and dress up like Indiana Jones when I go to see the Indiana Jones movie. You know what I mean?
I will say, I like when they slip like little adult jokes in. So when I went to see it yesterday, there's a
Disney movies do
character,
that.
a new character that's voiced by Conan O'Brien, and it is a potty training toy, potty training toy, if I could say. And there's a line in it where they're kind of getting amped up, and another toy is like, he's such and such, and he will wipe your, and then they stopped as it cut off the joke, and every adult in there laughed, and every kid, including mine, turned and was like, I don't get it, Daddy. Like, I don't understand.
Dude, you want to know what movie is horrible with that, and like pretty vulgar with that, is Zootopia. Zootopia is like, I think Zootopia 2 specifically.
Isn't Zootopia 2 the largest
it is.
box
Is it the one with the
office hit
snake?
for Pixar?
Zootopia 2 was the one with the snake, right?
Yes, the one with the snake.
Okay.
Which if you,
I've seen it.
If you want to go down a rabbit hole of the history of that movie and like what went into making that movie and like all about the stolen IP and all that kind of stuff, it's crazy. But like the adult jokes in that movie are like pretty vulgar. Like it's like to have that stuff in a kids movie is wild.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that.
No, nothing at all. But it's
great.
I was watching it with my daughter. I was like, oh man, and she's 3. She doesn't get any of the jokes anyway because she's 3. She just likes watching the cartoons. But yeah.
All right, 3 of us. We go dress up as Toy Story characters. We go to Disneyland this weekend. Just the 3 of us. No kids. We Disney
dress up as
adulted.
Rex.
And that does it for one-on-one today, fellas.
Are we getting drunk? Is that what we're doing?
Yeah.
Get hammered at Disney?
You think I'm going to see a cartoon movie not on edibles? What are we doing here?
Disney
It's Bleck
adulting.
Abdalla. What was that, Rush?
Disney adulting. We'll go Disney adulting.
Yes.
Black,
I will
right in the
chaperone.
center.
Yes, the Disney adults. Yes. Do what
Thank
you
you,
like and
fellas.
like what you do, right?
Sure.
Bleck Abdalla is sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Save on commercial auto insurance from Progressive. Get a fast quote at progressivecommercial.com. We're almost to training camp in the NFL. We're about 30 plus days away from training camp in the NFL, and we have 32 questions in 32 days to get you set for the NFL and for training camp. The first team up, the Raiders, and we'll get to them coming up next.
Brendan Sorsby is set to enter the NFL supplemental draft. Will a quarterback-needy team give up a high pick next year to have a talented passer this year? Westwood One Sports.
At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes and 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute. Stations, this is your final time check. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 30 seconds.
This is Bleck and Abdalla on Westwood One Sports. Here's Chris Bleck and Adam Abdalla.
We're about a month away from the start of training camps around the National Football League, and this is a segment we call here on the show 32 questions in 32 days.
Bet with DK Sports.
"32 questions in 32 days. Bleck and Abdalla discuss every NFL team's biggest question heading into training camp. Today's team, the Las Vegas Raiders.
Crosby off the edge, giving chase, and drags him down from behind. He leapt, he sacked, he conquered, and he races towards and somersaults.
Today's question, can Fernando Mendoza beat out Kirk Cousins?
32 questions in 32 days. We start with the Las Vegas Raiders. Can Mendoza beat out Kirk Cousins? That's the question today as we discuss, as we head towards training camp. Abdalla, I actually think, like, when we look at this storyline as we head towards Raiders training camp, not only do I think he can, I think he will. Now, whether or not the Raiders will back off of their stance that they are starting Kirk Cousins to start the season, I think is different than the fact that Mendoza will show here in training camp that he's ready to take over as the number one for the Raiders.
Yeah, that's the difference is he can, he will, but they won't let him. Like he's going to show that he's better. He's going to show that he's the guy, but they're not going to start him. He's going to probably not even be given the opportunity in training camp because they're going to give a majority of the number one reps to Kirk Cousins. The Raiders have come out and said that Kirk Cousins is the starter right now. And whether that's for however much a majority of the season or not, whether it's for 5 weeks or 6 weeks or whatever it is. Right now, they've chosen to make Kirk Cousins their starter. Their bye week isn't until week 13. So I find it hard to imagine that the Raiders would let Kirk Cousins start for 13 weeks and then have a week off and then only let Fernando Mendoza start the last 5 games of the season. They also don't have any Thursday night games. So they don't have an extended week where they could ease him in to a long week where they have 10 days off where they could ease him in. So it's going to happen just in a week's time, where you would hope that maybe it's at home versus an easier opponent, but they don't have a lot of home games that are easy where you could ease him in to not an easy win, but something that would be against an easier defense. The defenses that they play are, look, Kansas City's not they're a better defense this year. Buffalo ideally is going to be a better defense this year. The Rams, no thank you. Myles Garrett, not now. Seattle, no thank you. So I don't know when they pull the trigger on this, but week 13 as a bye week really kind of puts them at a disadvantage of saying, well, he's got 2 weeks to kind of take all the reps and get ready for a game. Because I don't think you can wait 13 weeks and only give him 5 starts at the end of the season. That's not a way to kind of get the first overall pick and throw him in to the fire.
Yeah, I mean, I would also add to that conversation, when we look at the young quarterback, is he going to have the rapport with the wide receiver core? The offensive line for the Raiders, they go out in the offseason. Tyler Lindenbaum, they go and sign, big signing at center. So theoretically, your offensive line should be upgraded. And I would like the young quarterback working with that offensive line throughout camp. So that's the thing to me that doesn't really make a lot of sense with the way that they're going to approach this with Kirk Cousins, is that I would want Mendoza getting comfortable with the players who are going to be out there instead of him having to play catch up halfway through the season. And you're right. You can, pie in the sky, you can find an easier landing spot, I guess, but it's also the National Football League. Mm-hmm. If things aren't working out or Kirk Cousins gets injured, you're starting the quarterback no matter what.
Oh, yeah.
You can't have it be perfect, and the first start for a guy isn't necessarily going to be perfect.
Yeah.
So, perhaps, you want to avoid Myles Garrett. Mm-hmm. All right. But I don't know. I don't think that that's the smart way to do it. I think we've seen enough quarterbacks who get the chance to start from day one, and you immediately see the benefits. You may not see it year one at the very start, but by the end of year one, you start to see these young quarterbacks who start from day one start to turn into something, either it being Trevor Lawrence or Caleb Williams or, whoever down the list, Bryce Young, Cam Ward. You see the development once you get to the end of their first season. It's different. They're a different player than what they were in training camp and at the start of this season. So just delaying that process, I just wouldn't do it. I don't think it's smart. And the Raiders are planning on starting Kirk Cousins. So that's the objective. And that's the first question of our 32 questions in 32 days in the NFL.
Yeah, I love it. We'll have 31 more questions as we get closer and closer to the start of the season.
Training camp is around the corner.
Yeah.
The NFL season's around the corner. We'll have the summer of football coming up later here on the show. We're counting down the days until we get to the start of the NFL season. There was a big trade on the horizon in the NBA, and also Dusty May is heading to the NBA. We'll talk about that coming up next.
This is Westwood One Sports.
At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes and 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute. Stations, this is your final time check. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 30 seconds.
is Bleck and Abdalla on Westwood One Sports. Here's Chris Bleck and Adam Abdalla.
That's right, Bleck and Abdalla here on Westwood One Sports, the Westwood One Sports app, Sirius XM channel 375. All of our great radio affiliates around the country. I'm Chris Bleck along with Adam Abdalla, broadcasting live from downtown Chicago until 3 Eastern, and then Jim Rome will take over right here on Westwood One Sports. If you want to join the show today, you can call or text us at 310-840-4910. We're hanging out. There's a lot of breaking news in the NBA. How about this? Dusty May is leaving Michigan to take the head coaching gig at Dallas. The Dallas Mavericks have their new head coach, and they've got a coach who's now there to coach Cooper Flagg into the future in the NBA. So Dallas and Dusty May, they are finalizing an agreement per ESPN. Sources have told them, and it is one of those moves where, to me, you take the national champion last year in Michigan, right? The Wolverines, what a historic run we saw in the tournament. And to win the national title and to just leave Michigan after having a record of 64-13 in 2 seasons. Dusty May also took FAU to the tournament twice, including the Final Four in 2023. So he goes from FAU to Michigan, winning in both spots, and now jumps to the NBA. And I feel as if, Abdalla, this is just another moment to kind of point out that college athletics are changing, and coaches who are at the very top of the profession don't want to stick around and deal with the way college athletics are changing, whether it be the NFL or the NBA. Good college coaches are going to look for that next opportunity at the professional level because it's just a better way of life. And what I mean by that is the headache of the recruiting cycle and then getting your kids on campus and then having to convince them to stay with you, even if you've already landed them, is, I think, a headache that a lot of coaches don't want to deal with, because at any given moment, because of playing time or something doesn't sit right, or maybe a guy breaks up with his girlfriend and now he wants to go, they jump into the transfer portal. Seriously, the kids now, and I know that we could have a larger discussion about college athletics and how it hasn't been fair for years because coaches could just up and leave whenever they wanted to. But the kids show no loyalty to the decisions that they make, and they are jumping into the portal at every opportunity. They're flooding that. Remember when the transfer portal opened at the end of the college basketball season, and it was immediately there were thousands of kids.
Oh yeah.
Who put in their name to go into the transfer portal. Mm-hmm. There's no loyalty anymore. And so I get it why a college coach with legit credentials who just won a national championship saw the landscape and said, all right, I'm out.
And what it is, too, I think, is you said good college coaches. We know that reports are saying that the Mavs went after John Shire, Duke's head coach, to give him the opportunity to coach Cooper Flagg. It would make sense. Reunite him, give him that opportunity. Yeah. He hasn't won yet at Duke, and I understand him saying no because he's gotten close. He wants a chance to win. I think if they had won this year, maybe his answer is different because he's already reached the mountaintop, and he maybe would say yes because he's already achieved what, Coach K, I'm Duke, has already achieved.
I'm Duke. It's my court.
You can't leave yet until you win.
What's your major, John?
Can't leave yet. So I do think that this is going to be, though, you're not going to see every NBA team go out and just try to get college coaches. It's every year you see them go after, the top guys. You see them go after John Shire. You see them go after the guy that just won the national championship, whoever it may be. This year it was Dusty May. And so it also says exactly what you said, and Dusty May has said that, or at least a source close to him, according to Jeff Goodman of Field of 68, said, a source close to Dusty May on the main reasons he left Michigan for the NBA, quote, the state of college basketball and not knowing what it's going to look like tomorrow, in a month, or in 5 years.
Yeah.
And then, number 2, the organization and the chance to coach Cooper Flagg. Look, I'm sure he wouldn't have taken any job. I'm sure he wouldn't have taken a team that is like the Portland job was open.
Yeah, the Portland job's still open.
Still open. Okay?
Anyone want that?
But he gets the opportunity to coach Cooper Flagg, one of the brightest young stars in the NBA. And so that's extremely intriguing. The Mavs are a good organization, and you get to leave having just won a national championship. You said his record in the last 2 years, what, 64-13?
Yes.
In the last 2 years.
Yep.
He's leaving on top. He just won a national championship. It's completely different than another coach leaving or anything else. Dusty May, I think, is in a unique situation.
Well, I mean, we've seen it with college football.
Of course, yeah.
Coaches each year flirt with the opportunity. Well, I think there's a lot that goes into it, right? Like, college football controls everything, right? So at the best college football programs, most of those coaches are the highest paid state employee for many of those states. So the college football coach has a little more pull than, say, national title winning head coach at Michigan. Let's call it what it is. Michigan's a football school.
Yeah.
It is.
It is.
Most of the big dogs are football schools. Ohio State, Georgia, Alabama, Notre Dame. Football schools. It's a little different. Like, I understand why someone like Dan Lanning has stuck at Oregon. It makes sense, right? The Oregon football program is number one, and they've got all that Nike money from Phil Knight, right?
Yeah.
That makes sense. Kirby Smart at Georgia. It makes sense. Marcus Freeman at Notre Dame. And Freeman's name has been brought up in the last 2 NFL off seasons as a name that NFL teams are interested in. Now, it hasn't developed to the point where he's been in for interviews and he's like a serious candidate, but it's been out there that teams in the NFL have been sniffing around through back channels to see whether or not Marcus Freeman would jump to the NFL.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and I think Marcus Freeman, I think a few coaches would have success, but I also think that even with NIL, I still think that there are college jobs that are better than certain NFL jobs. Like I still think that there are certain college basketball jobs.
Specific conversation.
Yeah, but I still think there are certain college basketball jobs that are better than NBA jobs.
See, I disagree. I think in college basketball, I think they all see what's on the horizon. And they know, and why I was listing off the different football situations is college football runs everything in college athletics now.
But not if you're like Duke is not a...
It is why the conferences have realigned. It's why we have all of the different NIL funds being put together by the schools. It is why the TV networks have tried to manipulate how we consume college athletics from both, the sports that you watch or the non-sports that you watch, the Olympic sports that teams have or schools have, right? Like, it's all college football. College football runs everything. I can understand the head coaches at any school that's not North Carolina, Kentucky, Kansas, and Duke and saying, all right, it is probably better to get out of here now and go to the NBA because, like Duke is an unfair comparable because they are a basketball school.
That's what I'm saying. They're basketball schools. It's Duke, it's Kansas, it's North Carolina.
And Kentucky.
It's Kentucky. Yeah, it's
those,
the basketball.
Those are the four.
Yeah, and I think there's only 4 or 5.
Michigan is not that.
No, it's not. And I think there's only 4 or 5 college football schools that are worth staying at over going to the NFL. And I think I think Notre Dame might be an exception because Marcus Freeman, I think, would be an excellent NFL head coach. But I think it's specific to him. Like, I think if you were telling me former Notre Dame head coaches would be horrible NFL head coaches, But I think Marcus Freeman is a different individual, and I think he would be a great NFL head coach. And I'm surprised he wasn't in the mix this year as many of the jobs that were open. Like, I thought he would have been perfect for the Ravens, or perfect for the Steelers, or perfect for the Giants. Like that, those jobs has his name written all over it. So there are certain jobs in college basketball and college football, and you're right, Michigan, I don't think, is either of them. But Ohio State, I think, is one of them. I think that, like you said, Oregon is one of them.
Yeah.
I think Alabama might be one of them, depending on who's there. And I mean, I don't think Kirby Smart would be a good NFL head coach. I think he's perfect for college football at Georgia. It just depends on the individual too.
What about your guy Dabo?
Listen, don't put that hate on me. Don't put that hate on me.
What do you mean?
Don't put that. Don't
Dabo
put that.
Sweeney at Clemson.
This is broadcast on to the world.
Yeah,
do
and
not
in
put
the
that,
South as
do
well.
not put that my guy. Don't put the words my guy and Dabo in the same sentence unless it's he is not your guy. There couldn't be anybody that is less my guy
That's
than
why
Dabo
I said
Swinney.
That's why I said it.
Ugh.
Your guy Dabo.
Ugh.
We're on in the South. Absolutely, they know.
Ugh.
They know. And you know, I think we could point out
Him and Brian Kelly.
We could point out the schools perhaps in college football and also in college basketball where it wouldn't make sense to jump. But you know, I think you can make the argument with the breaking news today that Dusty May is taking the Dallas Mavericks job. You can make the argument that of any schools that's not one of the 4 blue bloods that we mentioned, like Michigan had the best chance to become the next.
Yeah.
Right? You win a national title, you've got the money, the NIL's behind you, you're doing a great job the last couple of seasons, you win that title this year. Like, why couldn't Michigan find their way into that conversation? And that guy didn't want to stay. The opportunity in the NBA was greater. Like that, I think that to me is the thing that's smacking me in the face with this story today is that Michigan was set up to be a team for the next however many years you want to run it out that has a chance to be successful in college basketball with one head coach being there.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't want to do that. He left. And I don't blame him. I get it. I see. We talk about the college landscape often. And sure, there may be a few places in college football where coaches would feel the same. I do think that the drop-off, though, on situations where the college coach is actually wanted by the NFL is very few and far between. Like, I don't think there's a lot of coaches in college football that NFL teams would even entertain. Like, I feel like the NFL is its own beast, and teams would prefer someone who has just breathed the same air as a McVay or Shanahan. Like someone who has worked within the 49er or Ram organizations.
Yeah.
They would prefer that than, say, 7th best coach in college football.
No, I think that
as their head coach.
Yeah.
Because we saw it in this last cycle. The guys who are getting the opportunities in the NFL, it's not really go poach the best college coaches.
No.
There's only a couple of guys who have been rumored.
There's like 3.
It's Dan Lanning.
Yeah.
It's Marcus Freeman.
Yeah. It's Ryan Day.
Ryan Day. That's essentially it.
Bill Belichick might get his shot in the NFL one day.
Oh, one day. Bill and his upstart squad. Yes.
Yeah. Bill might get a shot one day.
Maybe one day. Maybe
Bill might
that.
get a shot one day.
I'm not talking about this.
Whoa, Jordan. Jordan, easy.
Jordan has her way.
Jordan,
might,
easy.
Bill Belichick might get a shot one day.
Whoa, okay. Shot at
If
what?
he turns that North Carolina program, maybe an NFL team will give him a shot.
Oh, really?
Young upstart Bill Belichick.
I'm not talking about this.
He's not talking about it. I think like the NFL, like the NBA teams, I understand why you would go after a college coach because I think the relatability of a college coach to today's younger NBA players makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
I don't know if the rah-rah team stuff that works in college football necessarily works with professionals in the NFL. Men. And I know, like, they're the same ages, 2 different sports, NBA and NFL. But I don't know, is my perception on that wrong? I feel like the NFL wants coaches who have coached in the NFL, and the NBA is okay with bringing in someone from college because they're used to handling all the different personalities of a college team in this new NIL landscape.
Well, look, I know that Dan Lanning can get animated, but like I said, Kirby Smart, you know how animated he gets on the sideline?
Oh, yeah.
Like, can you imagine that? Like, on the sideline for the Texans? Like, let's just say he's on an NFL sideline. Can you imagine, Like him getting that animated on every single play that he does, like he does. And I'm not saying he's a bad coach. He's a great head coach. Like he's proven it. He's a great head coach. He's he's easily one of the top 5 or 6 best head coaches in college football. But there are some guys that are just best suited for college football. And there's nothing wrong with that. Just stay where you are or go up to the next best school. And sometimes you're just at the best. Like there's nothing wrong if Kirby Smart stayed at Georgia until he retired and just became like the Nick Saban of Georgia. There's nothing wrong with that.
No, not at all.
He could he could win a bunch of national titles, maybe someday eclipse Nick Saban with his amount of titles, and we'll be talking about him in the same breath as we talk about the best college football coaches of all time.
So that's the news from earlier today. Dusty May is taking the job with the Dallas Mavericks. ESPN is also reporting that news will break at some point in the next day. They're reporting that Giannis Antetokounmpo will be traded before the NBA draft tomorrow night. The first round is tomorrow night. The second round is on Wednesday night. And ESPN is reporting that Giannis will be on the move. The two teams that ESPN is reporting are in discussions with the Milwaukee Bucks are the Miami Heat and the Boston Celtics. The Heat have a package of picks and players and items going back to Milwaukee. And Boston's essentially, they would be trading Jaylen Brown for Giannis. And it would be a one-for-one swap. So we'll keep our eyes on that story as the NBA is in full off-season mode with the NBA draft tomorrow. And we'll see if Giannis gets dealt. Maybe before the show ends today. If not, maybe tomorrow before the NBA draft here on Bleck Abdalla. Coming up, I do want to talk about this. We have the Summer of Football coming up next. There is a team that could bid on Brendan Sorsby. We will update that story next. International soccer is taking over the U.S., and only DraftKings has you fully covered.
The DraftKings Sports app is now available in all 50 states. Sweat all the matches you love all in one place. With one app, new DraftKings customers sign up with code BNA26 and spend $5 to get $200 in rewards within 21 days.
That's code BNA26 for Bleck and Abdalla in partnership with DraftKings. The crown is yours.
Bet with DK Sportsbook. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER, 1-800-MY-RESET. New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY. Text HOPE-NY. Connecticut, call 888-789-7777. Visit ccpg.org. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino in Kansas, bet tax pass-through may apply in Illinois. 21 plus, void in Ontario. Event contract trading with DraftKings predictions involve risk of loss. Sportsbook's bonus bets expire in 7 days. $50 in predictions dollars issued weekly for 3 weeks, expire in 1 year. Redeem one non-withdrawable reward. Availability varies. Predictions offer void in New York. Ends June 28th. Terms at dkng.co/audio.
It's an all-deciding Game 3 of the Men's College World Series. UNC, Oklahoma. Who will win the championship in Omaha? Listen to the game live on the Westwood One Sports app. Coverage begins today at 6:45 Eastern. Westwood One Sports.
At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will be in 3 minutes and 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute. Stations, this is your final time check. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 30 seconds.
This is Bleck and Abdalla on Westwood One Sports. Here's Chris Bleck and Adam Abdalla.
I love the summer, and I love talking sports in the summer because there's so much going on. We have World Cup games taking place right now. The NBA draft is tomorrow night. There could be breaking news in the NBA at some point tonight if Giannis is traded from the Milwaukee Bucks. And Abdalla, also, we count down to the start of the football season. You and I here on the show, we love previewing the NFL season. And each day throughout the summer, we like to bring to you a segment we like to call the Summer of Football.
I proclaim this the Summer of
Football!
What the hell's going on out here? We're going to be here all day, baby. I like this kind of party.
Only Brett Favre could do that. I don't care what you say. I'm just here so I won't get fined.
Just keep matriculating the ball down the field, boys.
We need a National Guard. We need as many men as you can spare because we are killing the Patriots.
The Summer of Football with Bleck and Abdalla.
I throw, you catch. It's not that hard, okay?
Westwood One Sports, the home of the NFL. As we count down the days to the start of the NFL season, Seahawks and Patriots to open the NFL season. 79 days away.
Oh, officially in the 70s.
79 days away till the start of the NFL season.
Officially in the 70s, matriculating our way through the summer.
All right, so today's feature here in the Summer in Football with Bleck Abdalla on Westwood One Sports and the Westwood One Sports app is this. Did you see the story that there is a team that may place a bid on Brendan Sorsby in the supplemental draft that will be held in a few weeks? Did you see that team may be the New York Jets?
Oh, okay.
The Jets.
Okay.
So that's the latest, is that perhaps the Jets could be the team that would put in a bid on Brendan Sorsby.
Okay. I could see it. I mean, right now they have QB, not necessarily uncertainty, but going into the future, you've got Geno Smith, you've got Bailey Zappi, you've got Brady Cook. You just drafted a quarterback in the fourth round. So that's not a plan for the future. Sorsby could be a plan for the future. And right now, when Aaron Glenn was asked about it last week, he kind of deflected it and said, I'm focusing on the guys that are here, which is what every coach says during media availability during these training camps or, mandatory mini camp sessions. And that's fine. But also, Rich Cimini wrote this article on ESPN about it, and a source close to the Jets said that they don't want to deal with it, meaning the whole, media circus around Brendan Sorsby. So maybe they won't take him. I don't know.
Is there really going to be a media circus around him?
Okay, so
it's the NFL.
I think that there's two ways to go about this, right? If he goes to a team with a known starter where he's not going to play this year.
Yeah.
If he goes to the Steelers, Aaron Rodgers the starter, no one else is going to start. Will Howard ain't starting. Brendan Sorsby ain't starting. Unless Aaron Rodgers gets hurt, nobody else is starting this season besides Aaron Rodgers.
Well, I mean, they drafted Drew Aller.
Good for him. No,
if Rodgers isn't healthy, they could go there.
That's what I mean. Unless Aaron Rodgers gets hurt, we know who the starter is in Pittsburgh, right?
Okay.
If he goes to, let's say, Green Bay as a backup situation, right? We know Jordan Love is the starter. If he goes to Detroit, we know the starter. We know who the starters are. It's not an issue because you asked your questions about it. You have whatever the coach, the GM gets up there, the coach gets up there. You ask your questions, and then you move on. It's not even another thing. However, if Brendan Sorsby is drafted by a team like the Jets, like the Cardinals, any team with quarterback uncertainty where he could see the field this year, because that might be the plan moving forward, then that's an issue. That I would say that, you're right. It's the NFL. Whatever. Okay, that's fine. It's everything is
whatever.
They deal with everything.
No.
Cimini's article also had an unnamed evaluator say if he's a clear-cut first rounder, why didn't he come out in this draft? Which is fair to say. So didn't
I bring that up last week?
You did. You have, and he's right. So. And we've also heard that a team might not be willing to put in anything above a fourth round pickup for him. So it depends on who he goes to. And I think if the Jets do put a bid on him and he goes to the Jets, I think they'll have to, quote, deal with it because Geno Smith is not the answer for the future.
Well, okay. I think the one thing that needs to be pointed out is my questioning the off the field or the media attention to this story is that when I say it's the NFL, what I mean by that is stuff like this, the Sorsby story, is a blip on the radar. It's not, to this point in this offseason, outside the initial coverage, to me, the Patriots are going about their business. No, there's no more Vrabel, Rossini stuff at the moment. Mm-hmm. Vrabel's coaching. Yeah, but that was a bigger off the field scandalous item than the Sorsby thing.
I mean,
the Sorsby thing is this. Sorsby thing is this. A team brings him in. The first time he's with the team, the GM makes a comment about it. The coach makes a comment about it. The kid comes into the program. The program is there. He's a football player now. And yeah, maybe the first time he meets the media with said team's media availability, he gets asked about it. From that point on, it turns into he's just a guy on the depth chart story.
I agree with
I
you.
don't think it's that much of an off the field. Now, if he were to have returned to Texas Tech, that would have been a story that would have carried on. But I think the moment he's into the NFL, after the initial response about it, I think he then turns into just generic NFL player.
But the point is that
unless he gets caught doing something else and then gets suspended.
Like betting on Geno Smith unders.
I'm just saying, like, we've seen NFL players gamble and get suspended.
Yeah,
so
of course.
Like, that'll be that.
But the question is, if it's Geno Smith, if it's Jacoby Brissett, whoever it is for the Cardinals, if it's one of those two guys starting and they're struggling because the teams aren't good and they start 2-6, and then you start getting the questions. Are you going to pull your starter? Are you going to go to Brendan Sorsby? Are you going to go to this guy? Whereas if the Steelers start out 500, you're not asking Mike McCarthy if he's going to go to, you're not pulling Aaron Rodgers. Like, you're not pulling Jordan Love if the Packers start out 3-3 or 2-4. You know what I mean? Like, there's no question there.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
The other
that goes
teams,
for any quarterback controversy.
I understand that, but if Sorsby's there, the question, you don't want it to be about him.
I disagree. The same thing will happen in Arizona. If Brissett can't play, then it's going to be about Beck.
Well, we know Beck can't play, though.
You don't know that. The backup is, if you have a quarterback that can't play, it's always going to be about the
backup. If he goes to Arizona, he's going to instantly be above Beck on the depth chart. Instantly. He's better than Carson Beck.
Okay. But, like, again, worrying about a backup quarterback being the guy that the media wants attention around because the starter sucks is nothing new in the NFL.
I get it.
Like, you keep bringing up Pittsburgh. Like, okay, yeah, Aaron Rodgers is the better player. Yeah, we get it.
Because I keep bringing up Pittsburgh because that's one of the top spots he could go. Because they don't have an answer for next year after this one.
So the other thing that I would add that's going around on Sorsby today is on ESPN television, Jordan Rogers, who covers the SEC, he was quoted on ESPN television today saying that Sorsby has a higher ceiling than Mendoza or Ty Simpson. So Mendoza selected first overall. Ty Simpson went 13th overall. He said that Sorsby has a higher ceiling. Okay, so bold statement out there on ESPN television. It blew Greeny's hair back. He was dazzled by the commentary. Bubba, Nuno, Devin, #crew. So that was on ESPN television. A friend of the show, Benjamin Solak, who covers the NFL for ESPN, he tweeted that video talking about the hyperbole around the supplemental draft and Sorsby. He said it's what happens because it's the only thing. He's the only player, right? And then he added, but Sorsby is also the perfect quarterback for hyperbole because his 20 best plays in college stack up against anybody's. Peak Sorsby is awesome. It's the other 280 plays that are the problem. So, like, for people to cherry pick some highlights of Sorsby and suggest that maybe he is a guy that could show up to a team and immediately be a day one starter, if you only watch the highlights, he actually has some pretty sick highlights. The problem is, when he was at Cincinnati, there were a whole lot of other plays that were terrible.
Mm-hmm.
And that goes into the makeup of a quarterback and trying to figure out whether or not he's worth a first, second rounder in the supplemental draft, or is he even worth taking a fourth round flyer on?
What's his record? 1-11 in November?
Yeah. And they didn't win anything in Cincinnati.
No.
So,
I do think that, like, he's one of those guys that thinks that he can make every single play, win every single bet, that kind of thing. I just think that when you're a guy like that, you have to get into a system where you're going to learn from a good quarterback coach.
I've never heard that for a quarterback before.
Probably.
He's a quarterback who thinks he can make every throw and also win every bet.
Well, I mean, we all do, don't we? I keep bringing up the Steelers because they make the most sense. If they put in like a third round bid on him, I think it makes the most sense. They're going to be a team. They absolutely need a quarterback. I'm sure they'll. If Aaron Rodgers wants to do this dance again, I'm sure they'll wait and see if he asks for their hand to go to the dance next year.
This is it. He already said it.
I know, but I don't believe him until it's Aaron Rodgers, dude. Come on.
I believe everything Aaron Rodgers says.
How many times did Brett Favre do this? And he's literally going down the same path as Brett Favre.
On the record, Rodgers doesn't have a miss rate. He's right on everything.
Okay.
He'll tell you himself.
Yeah, exactly. So until I see, I won't believe it until I see it. So they don't have a plan next season. This is their best plan because if they go 500, if they make a wild card round or something like that, like they're not winning the division, but if they make as a wild card team, you need a plan for next season for the 2027 season, and might be your best option.
So there you go. There's the summer of football here on Bleck Abdalla. Day 79, counting down the days until the kickoff of the NFL season. Seahawks, Patriots will open up the NFL season. 79 days away. Can't wait. Can I ask you something? Have you saw this? This is some video footage from like late last week, but it's still going around socially. Did you see the New York Knicks in their parade?
Yeah.
All the people going nuts at the parade. Did you see the garbage can woman?
Yeah.
The woman who walked up. So they in New York City, they placed garbage cans that were painted blue and orange for the Knicks championship. Special championship garbage cans.
Yeah.
Shout out to the guy in City Works who thought of the idea of changing the garbage cans just for the parade route. But yeah. So the can's there. She walks up to it. She dumps out all of the trash onto the street, all over the street, and then walks off with the garbage can as a souvenir from the parade last week in New York City.
Yeah.
I also, not only was there the video of her dumping out the trash going viral, did you see the video of her riding the train with the trash can?
Yeah.
She was like holding it like it was a championship trophy.
Well, yeah. First of all, you got to hold on to that thing tight. Someone's going to steal it because you've already done all the hard work. You picked it up. You dumped the trash out. You got it onto the train. So you've already avoided all the cops taking it away from you. Second of all, you don't think that if the Bears won a championship here in Chicago,
I'm not stealing a trash can.
They put out blue and orange.
No.
No. I'm not saying you. Blue and orange trash cans, or if they were red and blue for the Cubs, or
no, when the Cubs won the championship in 2016, I don't think people were walking off with trash cans.
Well, they didn't put them out. They didn't do because they didn't. I don't know who did it in New York, but they weren't thinking. I saw when they announced it. I saw that they were going to do this. I saw that the announcement from the city that they were going to put out a certain amount, and the first thing was, yeah, those aren't going to last.
I mean, how would you describe? Paint the picture of her walking up to the trash can.
Oh, intentions. She knew exactly what she was going to do. She saw the same video I saw online and said the first time I see one of these cans, that is going to make a great laundry basket.
The story is now on the New York Post. It's on TMZ. You can see the video footage of her walking up to the trash can and dumping out the trash all over the place.
Yeah. I mean, listen, props to her. I'm not saying I would do the same. She's decked out in Knicks gear, obviously a fan, and she's not the only person I've seen do this. I've seen other people do this.
What are you going to do with the trash can is my question.
Laundry basket. That's a great laundry basket. You hose it down, clean it.
Hose it down.
Put some bleach on it. Clean it up. That's a great laundry basket. What are you talking about? You would love that thing.
No, I would not.
Oh, a younger Chris Bleck would love that. A younger Chris Bleck would love that.
I would not love that.
Come on.
Have the police tried to, let's see, a spokesperson? This is the story from TMZ.
What are they going to do? Find her?
They're aware of the video.
And?
No complaint reports were filed regarding the incident.
Who cares? Who cares? Are you going to go find this woman?
Did you see the two ladies that were like climbing the street lamp and also fighting while they were climbing?
Yeah. Like, King of the Mountain.
And then she started like twerking.
Hey, King of the Mountain. That is the ultimate King of the... Queen of the Mountain. Queen of the Mountain. It's the ultimate Queen of the Mountain. What's wrong with that?
I guess so.
You're fighting for a spot to watch. I have no problem with stealing this trash can.
Oh, really?
Yeah. The city...
Public property.
Look, the city put this... This is on the city for putting this out there.
For tempting people?
You knew that this was going to happen. You knew that this was going to happen. This is like if you would have put it out, if you would have changed all the street signs to blue and orange, guess what? Those are getting stolen. If you would have changed all the stop signs to blue and orange, guess what? Those are getting stolen. Like, you got to know. Put yourselves in the mind of a Knicks fan. They're stealing all the stuff.
Yeah, and she walked right up to it. She dumped the trash all over the street.
Yeah.
No regard for any. It is New York, so they keep the trash on the street anyway.
It's there anyway. And listen, most New Yorkers don't have cars, so it's not like she could have waited till nighttime, pulled up, and then put it in her car. No. You got to put that thing on the subway. Yeah, how else are you getting it home? You're not carrying it.
New York City woman dumps the trash all over the street, carries the garbage can home.
And
I
do know
an orange garbage can.
There's a company now that's going to sell them, that they're like, you can pre-order them.
Really?
And make, they're going to. I think they're putting out like 9,000 or 10,000 of them. But now she got one for free.
That's a lot. 10,000 of these garbage cans?
You know how many New Yorkers there are?
Yeah, but the thing's huge. You have room? I've seen the videos online of people showing off their apartments in New York City.
I was going to say, I've been in New York apartments before.
Yeah, like you don't have space for that.
That's half your bedroom.
Right, exactly. Maybe she's the new Oscar the Grouch.
Okay,
maybe she's going to live in the trash can. Maybe that's it. Maybe she's going to live in the trash can.
I think that's how she's going to watch Knicks games from now on. That's her lucky trash can.
She's going to sit in the trash can. Bleck Abdalla, sponsored by Progressive Insurance, protecting your business vehicles 24/7. See if you can save at progressivecommercial.com. Speaking of the Knicks parade, is Elmo a traitor? We'll update that story coming up next.
The U.S. men's national team is 2-0 for the first time since 1930. After an historic start, is it too early to dream of America celebrating its 250th birthday with a World Cup trophy? Westwood One Sports.
At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will be in 3 minutes and 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute. Stations, this is your final time check. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 30 seconds.
This is Bleck and Abdalla on Westwood One Sports. Here's Chris Bleck and Adam Abdalla.
If you missed any portion of today's show, you can download the podcast on Apple and Spotify, and also like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, Bleck and Abdalla Show. Thank you to Raj and Roy for producing today's show. Jim Rome coming up in 12 minutes right here on Westwood One Sports. Bleck and Abdalla will return tomorrow from noon to 3 Eastern right here on Westwood One Sports. We'll get to Elmo in just a second. We do have breaking news in the NBA. Shams Charania is reporting that Trae Young intends on signing a 4-year, approximately $212 million deal to stay with the Washington Wizards. His player option is in year 4, sources tell ESPN. So the 4-time NBA All-Star, he declined his $49 million deal option for this summer to then opt for a long-term commitment ahead of free agency. So Trae Young will not be a free agent. He is staying with the Wizards, and he is signing a 4-year, $212 million deal to stay with Washington per ESPN.
That was expected when he opted out of his
Yeah, it was
deal.
reported. He opted out, and then the reports were he wants a longer-term deal, but he's expected to stay with Washington. So that's the latest in the NBA, and still nothing on Giannis Antetokounmpo. So we will keep an eye on that as the NBA draft is tomorrow night, and we are told per ESPN that Giannis will be traded by the draft tomorrow. You know, Abdalla, we've seen people online want to cancel things immediately. And even when there is something that's wholesome out there online, people attack it.
Yeah.
Elmo from Sesame Street, during the NBA Finals, wished both teams to have fun. He was hoping the best for both teams.
Yeah.
Unfortunately for Elmo, Sesame Street is in New York. And New Yorkers were upset that he was wishing good luck to the San Antonio Spurs.
As they should be.
And people in New York City called him a traitor.
Well, he is.
And so, with the World Cup taking place and Elmo wishing those in the soccer world to have success, Elmo wanted to release a statement to make sure that all of us in this great country didn't come for him and his head. Take a listen to Elmo.
Just to be clear, Elmo wants Team USA to win, okay? But Elmo loves everybody. Just to be clear. Don't make this a thing. Thank you. Elmo loves you, and Elmo loves you, and Elmo loves you, and Team USA, and everybody who's playing.
So there you go. Elmo wanted to get on the record that he is supporting Team USA and that he doesn't want you to come for him, even though he wants everyone to have fun and to be, and that he wants you to know that he loves you.
Interesting. I wonder how all of Big Bird's international cousins feel. Abelardo Montoya, his Mexican cousin.
Oh, really?
Or Pino, his cousin from the Netherlands.
Okay.
Or Hirabaldo, his Brazilian cousin. I wonder how Big Bird's cousins feel about that.
You know, Big Bird can go kick rocks. No one cares.
Or Samson.
Elmo's supporting the USA.
The grouch and monster from Germany. I wonder how he feels.
They can support their teams.
I wonder how he feels.
Elmo knows he's on the right side. Now, listen, with the Knicks parade last week, you saw people ripping Elmo dolls apart.
Listen, Jalen Brunson tried to mend fences. I think we can all, Elmo made a mistake. I know that Elmo speaks in the third person, so maybe I'm trying to sound like Elmo right now. Elmo made a mistake. Elmo said he's sorry. Elmo realizes where he's from and where his roots are. Elmo laced up his Timbs, put on a little Wu-Tang, and let Elmo be Elmo, okay?
I got to give credit to the creative side for those who run the Elmo account and to post something like that and to be ahead of the, like he messed up, right?
Let's not make it a thing.
Let's not make it a thing. I'm here for Team USA. Not supporting Russia. I'm here for the USA, right? Like, not even in it. No, I know, but could you imagine if he wasn't supporting the US and then we're like, he's supporting the Russians? I don't know. Elmo, not our guy.
It's more of a Snuffleupagus thing, I think.
Oh, really? I do have one. We can talk more about this tomorrow, but tomorrow night's the NBA draft. The NBA draft, they are breaking the draft up into 2 nights. The NBA, they think they're football. They think that people are going to pay attention to night 2 of the NBA draft. Now, here's the deal. Night 1, first round. Night 2, second round. So Wednesday night is the second round. It doesn't have the same juice or sizzle as the second round of the NFL draft.
It's an email, man.
It just doesn't.
No.
And yes, great players have come from the second round. That's not what I'm saying.
Yes, of course.
It's just at that point of the draft and in the night, you get the casual fan who doesn't know who any of these players are. You get a lot of international players selected in the second round. Stash the Euro is a thing, right? Where you can select a player and then you maybe don't bring them over right away to the United States. So I just don't think, I think it's a miscalculation by the NBA breaking this up into 2 nights.
I mean, look, it's a Wednesday night in the summer. We're going
to watch soccer. That's what will happen.
Exactly. There's nothing else going on per se. There's baseball, there's soccer. You're not really missing anything else.
Brazil plays. Yeah. Mexico plays on Wednesday night.
Exactly.
People watch that.
There's no harm in doing this. Yeah. But I don't think it's ever going to catch on.
No, I don't think so either. So tomorrow is the NBA draft. We will have full coverage here on the show tomorrow throughout. And we'll see if Giannis gets traded tonight or if we'll be watching for that to break throughout the show tomorrow. It's Bleck Abdalla here on Westwood One Sports and the Westwood One Sports app. Jim Rome in the Jim Rome Show's coming up next.
This is Westwood One Sports.